we find that a lot in the Bible, where prophets give a prophecy and it has an immediate application, right in the near future, but it also has a future application. So this could very well refer to both, but the important point for us to get, folks, is that all of the signs stuff does not apply to us. All of that was fulfilled in the first century, and it can't apply to us, which is why, folks, I encourage us. Here's the thing. We know Jesus is coming back. Our groom will return for his bride. He's not going to abandon us. But we have no idea when, we have no idea how, we have no idea what that will look like, and there are no signs to look for. The one thing we need to know is that we don't know anything. And so we need to always be ready and always be prepared and be a bride who's making ourselves ready. And so I encourage us to stay miles away from all of that sign stuff that's out there. It is at best, and there's books and books and books and books and books on this, I know it, every year, but it is at best a waste of your time. At worst, it's dabbling in divination, because you're trying to divine something that the Lord has already told us we don't know. And this is out there all over the place. I'll end with this. I've been asked several times over the last couple of weeks about the four blood moons. Have you heard about the 4 blood moons? Yeah, it's the latest craze out there. John Hagee's book, 4 Blood Moons. This has been the #1 selling Christian book for the last several months, as I understand it. It was #1 on Amazon. I don't know if it still is, which kills me. This sells millions of copies. How come my books don't? This doesn't make any sense. But this is out there all over the place. I wasn't aware of it. And it pained me to do it, but I actually researched this thing. I just want to give an illustration of this, all right? Here's the theory in a nutshell. It turns out that in 2014 and 2015, we will have each spring and each fall a blood moon. A blood moon is a lunar eclipse. And that's when the moon begins to look red. So they call it a blood moon. So we'll have 4 blood moons in a row, all right? That's called a tetrad. NASA calls that a tetrad. That's a fairly rare event. John Hagee, using the research of this other guy, Mike something, Blitz or something like that, he argues there's a correlation in history. Whenever there's a tetrad, that something significant happens to Israel. He doesn't say whenever, he says about half the time. There's something significant happens with Israel, all right? And so these are warnings to Israel as a nation, because in his theology, God's still working through Israel and still centered to God's plan. So here are the 3 best ones he gives. They're really the 3 that they highlight. There's a tetrad in 1493 and 94. Oh, that corresponds to the Spanish Inquisition when Jews were killed and kicked out of Spain. And then there was the tetrad in 1949 and 50. And that corresponds, they argue, to Israel becoming an independent nation. And then there's a tetrad in 1967 and 68. And that corresponds, they argue, to the 6 Days War with Egypt that Israel won. So in 2014 and 15, folks, we can expect something big. It's going to be huge. Who knows what? It's going to be world-changing. They speculate that Israel is going to invade Iran because they're developing nuclear weapons, and that's going to set off a whole crisis in the Middle East. Something big is going to happen. And so this has got everyone talking and buying books. Now, it may happen that Israel will invade Iran because of nuclear stuff. That seems kind of plausible. But, folks, it has nothing to do with blood moons if it happens. Think about this. There's hundreds of tetrads that have happened. It's rare, but hundreds of times that's happened throughout history. The vast majority of them correspond to absolutely nothing. So if 3 happen to correspond to something, that'd be about what you'd expect by chance, especially if you're looking for something to correspond to it. You know, that seems pretty, nothing supernatural about that. Tetrads are going to happen no matter what. I mean, there's clockwork here. You can predict when they're going to happen for the next billion years if you want to take the time. Most of them correspond to nothing. But what about those 3? They correspond to nothing. You guys, if you just look at this, this is... Okay, so these are the best. These are the big ones. 1493 and 94 tetrad. Well, folks, the Spanish Inquisition started in 1478. Your warning is 15 years too late. If the 1949 and 1950 tetrad. Well, folks, Israel became an independent nation in 1948. 2 years too late. The 6 Day War, that's the 1967 and 68, that tetrad. Well, that comes 10 months after the Jewish war had ended, and a year and 10 months, the first blood moon comes 10 months after the war ended. The last one, the 4th one, a year and 10 months. God must have real bad timing or something, or poor communication skills. But folks, there's nothing going on here. People believe this stuff. They go to conferences, fill out auditoriums with this stuff. It's amazing. I don't get it. I do not get it. And since when are Christians supposed to be dabbling in astrology? I thought that was forbidden. Huh? And here we're reading the moons. Ooh, moons are happening here. And he finds all these references to blood moons throughout the Bible. Yeah, you find blood moons, but there they say the blood will be turned to, the moon be turned to blood. And whenever you find a blood moon in the Bible, you also will find right next to it, sun going dark, earthquakes, famine, stars falling from the sky, heavenly bodies being shaken, and a bunch of other stuff. But he just ignores that and focuses on the blood moon. And here's the real kicker. Even if true, so what? So what? It was supposed it was all true. Who gives a rip? What are we supposed to do? Worry? Just, see, if it's foretold by the stars, there's nothing you can do about it. Okay, now we know that there's going to be a crisis. What difference? This accomplishes nothing except making some authors fairly wealthy. That's, for everything else, it's just a waste of time. Reading this stuff, conferences, folks, it's just nonsense. Caca, mucky. Stay away from it. Folks, what matters? The only thing that's important is here and now. Look at the end will take care of itself. Our groom knows when to come back. He's got it all under control. Trust him and leave it at that. We got stuff to do. We got stuff to do. Really, now. Folks, this is the time where the bride makes herself ready. This is our betrothal period. We're going to be getting ourselves ready. So we need to take sanctification seriously, serving the world seriously, feeding people seriously, giving them shelter seriously, spreading the gospel seriously. Right here, right now. It's the only thing that's real. Don't look at the future. Look at the present. The future will take care of itself. And besides, you're going to be dead pretty soon, and so am I. So who cares about the end of the world? Well, let's use our little short life to mean something. All right? Right here, right now. That's what matters. Where you stand? All right. Well, God bless John Hagee. Someone sent in this message, but Lord bless him. I just don't want any of you following that.